McDaniel. Slade! Got up into violence. Something with Anthony Towns. My goodness.
Welcome to Wolves After Dark. I'm your host. There it is. I'm your host, Ashwin. Cameron's not with us because he was at the game at the Moda Center himself, hopefully donning Minnesota blue as the Minnesota Timberwolves take care of business in Minnesota Timberwolves fashion, 128-91 on the back end of a home and home in Portland, where Anthony Edwards plays with his food and gets another 34 points. That would be what? 75 points in 2 games. That's Anthony Edwards for you. I think he's coming into his own. I think he's feeling himself right now at the perfect time, heading into All-Star weekend. Pretty excited for him, just to get that kind of, accolades and recognition. He's been balling out. The best team in the West. It's hard to stay up on top. And as we saw in the second quarter and early onsets of the third quarter, it's hard to keep going when you're on top. And insert a little AE injection, and you can bump that lead up from 8 to 20 in a matter of minutes, and that's what happened. Kind of the story of the game is we came prepared. We kind of prepared as if this was like a playoff series, I guess. That's what Mike Inori said in the pregame presser, kind of content piece. And anything that they were trying to do, we completely stripped away. DeAndre Ayton was a non-factor. In fact, he took himself out of the game. That's so sad. And they weren't doing anything in the post, in the paint in the first quarter. We did everything. Jaden McDaniels pops off for 3 dunks. We were just super aggressive, aggro, to a point where we were playing some of our best basketball on both ends. I think we were 68% in the first quarter from the field to their 22, 23%. So, and when you're down 20, when you're down 25, you start to lose interest. And when you're up 25, up 30 at the end of the first quarter, how do you keep that energy, right? Well, we found that we are still learning how to do that. It's okay. Honestly, it's fine. Games like this prove that we are hungry, we're ready, but we're not there yet, And it can be frustrating as a Timberwolves fan base to kind of all right, it's a 30-point game. Let's kick off our shoes a little bit. But when it became an 8-point game, boy, were our butts clenched. Because, yeah, it's cool to be historically great in the first quarter, but it's also, we saw it before, when you play with your food, when you get 62 points in a loss, boy, does it feel worse, right? Guys, everyone, 60 of you, plus, thank you so much for joining us at Wolves After Dark. We are going to also be hanging out during All-Star. We might do a stream or 2. And so it would be great to have you guys. Getting to the commentary. Just shortly before we went live, JJ says going up by 30 points, only go down to a single-digit lead, and now back up to 30 points is pretty much just Wolves things. Like the stream even before it starts. You know what Cameron says, get to 100 likes. I don't know, hot tub stream? Kieran Cooley, welcome to the show, my friend. Wolves was like, let's make it respectable to just disrespect them more by beating them by almost 40. Wow. Yeah, maybe. This game kind of feels like a microcosm of the season, don't you think? Start hot, stay hot, have a bit of a cool down period in the beginning of the new year, only to really kind of come back to where we were to kind of close this first half of the season. Pretty cool. We are now, I'm just trying to refresh stuff to get my box scores correct. I think we're almost at the. Sorry, guys. I feel terrible. Where are we now? We are still at top the standings. I'm trying to get our record. I feel terrible. 39-16 ain't so bad. Winners of 4 straight. That would be the Bucks, the Clippers, and Portland. That's sweet. We're a game and a half in front of OKC. We're 2 games in front of the Clippers. Going in All-Star feeling great. Call Me Casual says, we're getting those 52 wins. I got to look at the schedule, but I think we're getting 55 wins. Whoa, 52 wins is in play, I think. It's kind of been our motto since we started this nonsense. It was 60 wins, and then we kind of lowered the bar a little bit. Oh, man. We're going to get into the tier list shortly, my friends. Another thing that was interesting is the others. The others stepped up, but it was other others. It wasn't the Na and Nas. It was a lot of Jaden tonight. And I thought Jaden was hungry and assertive, and I thought the way that he looked on the perimeter was fantastic. Basically shutting out Simons to the point where was Simons? All game. Where was he? It was crazy. I thought that after that first quarter, we weren't going to see much of Simons, and Scoot Henderson kind of came out and took over. I thought that was really sick to see. And Simons kind of appeared a little bit in the second quarter, and I don't know what happened. I don't know where he was, but he wasn't anywhere on that court in the rest of the game. All right, now that my box score is final, I can talk about what we did here. 34 from Ant, 23 from Cat, 17 from Jaden McDaniels. And if we look at the box score a little bit now, Monte Morris, I think a little bit that was garbage time with 12. And Nasrid got a little bit also in kind of the last few minutes in the fourth quarter to get it to double digits. And it's nice to see, right? Because we don't have to necessarily rely on Nas. Been Mr. Consistent for the entire season. For the first time in like 17 games, he didn't get a 3. But that's okay. We relied on our top gun to get the job done. JJ. They really gave the Blazers fans a sense of hope and pummeled them in general in the guard. Yeah. The ground. There it is. Tawamashi. Hey, hope I said your name correctly. Welcome back, my friend. Very recognizable avatar. I love it. They got that dog in them tonight. I thought so too. Matthew Henson. Hello. I hope I'm coming in clear. I'm trying to get my mic. It's not a new mic, but it's like I'm not using my camera mic anymore. So trying to, hopefully I don't come in and out. If I am, I'll try to fix it for next show. It was so fun to have some of you guys along the ride in the Discord. Shout out to the Discord. If you guys aren't there, it'd be awesome to have you guys there. We do this in every game, and we go live after most games. And it means so much to have your support throughout this whole thing, as we are on a historical tear. 39 wins before the All-Star break. Minnesota Timberwolves got to feel pretty good. Despite some of the criticisms, despite some probably warranted, healthy conversations that are going to be had from not just us, but from other, shows out there. We're the 1 seed. We're the top seed. we got problems. We got holes to fix. We got holes to plug, I thought it was fantastic. There's been a lot of conversation about Rudy Gobert and his need to, as long as we're the away team, have our offense, in the second half alongside our bench. So then we can have maybe better offensive sets, maybe to have better closeouts, closeout ATOs, and just coaches in our ears, right? Also, when you have nice leads like this, it's kind of fun to get a little creative and then have the bench kind of ride with you, right? Hello, Matthew Hansen. Kieran Cooley, wonder if Chauncey gets fired getting beat like that. Oh, I think he got hired to be a tank commander. I thought that was a very questionable hire. Never coached anything before. What are they doing? You're not going to get a player empowerment coach to coach Damian Lillard and you know like get them to be motivated. No, this was a let's let's slowly offload everyone higher. In my opinion, but it would suck to see him go. But also, I don't know. Maybe they need a whole shift, whole culture shift in Portland. Salute. Oh, that took me way too long to understand what that was, Charlie. Hey, my friend, thank you so much for joining. FAD. I like the first of the fourth. Hey, man, so did I. So did I. We should do that more often. I think so too. Uh we were up by 30. Man, I was so ready to get like 12 to 15 minutes of our bench mob. Had to keep it interesting. They had to make it interesting, huh? Tell them to call in. Yeah, Cameron, telling you to call in. Let's see what happens. I don't think most of these people they like to hear your voice. And I guess Cameron with the $10 dono to yourself. Nice job, dude. Looking fresh. Yeah, I don't know. I decided to shave. I think I may have missed a spot or two or three. Don't look away. Look away. But thank you, yeah. I think this is the quickest Edwards first step has looked in a while. Hey, you noticed that too. I thought that was so refreshing to see him kind of I wouldn't say he was ISOing, but he was kind of trying to penetrate the the paint and trying to get to the rim, but also kind of actively look for the right play. And his handle looked great. And I also thought that step to get into the paint was, as you said, it's the fastest he's been. I thought it was great. He looked. That's another thing about I don't think I have like stats or facts or anything, but the very fact that you played a team and you play a team again, you're not moving cities, you're not changing your arrangement. You are literally going home, bed, wake up, gym. Like that is your life for the next 48 hours, right? Maybe there's some small little thing that you have to do outside of that. So like he's like comfortable. He's not moving anywhere. He's not, did I forget this, that, or the other? So as silly as that sounds, he's probably like just very comfortable getting onto the court tonight. And so like it looked like he was probably well rested and everything, right? That's in my opinion. I'm just saying some nonsense to further dissect what might have been the reason why he was so quick tonight. It was awesome. Also, I thought he was ready. Everyone's ready for the All Star break, but I think it felt like he wanted to be done in like a half. He wanted no part of that second half. But we called him in, and he answered our prayers honestly because I didn't want to lose this one. I wanted to go into the All Star break on a high, on a positive note, and celebrate our successes rather than really kind of question and be fuzzy about it. Because yeah, this is like bottom seeded team this year in Portland, and they're looking for the future. They're not looking necessarily to really push the envelope or play spoilers. In my opinion, they're trying to see what's next, and it might not be Anthony Simons and Scoot Henderson. And boy, it ain't Aiton. He wasn't doing anything, and he's never going to do anything. I Jim Pete said on the broadcast, I wonder if he regrets, pushing for or not being in Phoenix. He doesn't care. He just has his paycheck, man. He doesn't care whatsoever. Doesn't look like it, man. Really doesn't. Especially the way that he fouled out of this game tonight. He had no interest being in it, and it's kind of embarrassing, kind of sad. I hope Portland can do better. I hope Portland can move him. They probably won't get much for him though, huh? The Wolves got to play in the second and fourth quarter all game, and we are unbeatable. That's right. That's right. Fantastic way. Brian S. Hello, hello. And Petty Machete. I freaking love that name. Great win before All Star Weekend. I love that. Brian S. Hello, hello. Fantastic way to go to All Star break. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm pumped. Wade Barron going down to a single digit lead made me sick. You don't need to timestamp or screenshot the Discord, but boy, it was starting to get a little ugly in there. And we were, I guess, as a collective, a little too loose with our words. as it started to get close. Um, and Polite Demons Hourglass game. Yeah, man, I like that. It's a fun like visual. Um, Kieran McDaniels saw his dud last game and said that ain't happening tonight. Yeah, man, what do you have to do for 48 hours? You watch your film, you watch yourself. Man, I could have done so much more in that last game, right? So he probably was all right. I see these openings, I see these gaps. They're small. They're DeAndre Ayton in the paint, and DeAndre Ayton in the paint isn't anything in the paint. So he was like, I'm just gonna dunk it. And he dunked, and he had some ferocious dunks tonight. It was so cool. It's kind of like the way I said ferocious. Tier list time, tier list time. It's time to tier list the time. Um that's a G. It's not an S, or it's not a B. Oh, this whole time I thought you were like your name was like Benny. Generic user. The first subs are Cat and Mike out for Kyle and Nas. Do you think these are matchups where the first subs are Monte and Nas? Um, I don't. I don't think so. I thought Na was the first one out in, but sorry it took so long. I was just trying to think about teams and matchups. Like the only ones I think are like Dallas and the Kings, where maybe Monte could like kind of hang out with like Malik Monk and this Hardy boy that they got in Dallas. But like Na does everything that we need from our backup, and then Monte is there to just be even extra, right? But yeah, I will say that is a very generic answer way of answering your question, probably. But I was trying to think deeper into what it would probably be. Oh, it was confirmed. It's not for the main game. I don't know what this exactly is describing. Oh, JJ, I think it's cool, but it's not going to be for the actual game. I don't care. Uh oh. Uh oh. What are we trying to say? Oh, yes. Yes. Cool idea. I worry and I hope it doesn't really affect any of the performances from like the G Leaguers to the celebrity game. Everything is happening on the LED court, with the exception of the All Star game. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be kind of bringing a lot of new like visual intrigue. Um, I think it's gonna be a step up, but I hope the ball bounces correctly. I hope that they can feel like it's a normal court, because if it's distracting, like if they get crazy, like whoa, there's like reflection as I'm like driving or dunking or shooting a three, that would suck, right? Don't you think? Okay, guys, Crone 151, welcome, welcome. Whirly Squirrely 100%. They almost choked it away against the Jazz. What did Whirly Squirrely say? The only thing that would make this better if the Warriors lost tonight too. Yes. I think they had a pretty return to form performance from Clay Thompson, but I don't know. I just saw headlines. I don't read articles. I just see the headlines. Um, hey Ash, ever been mistaken for Action Bronson? No, I have no idea who that is. I should probably look that up. CJ Frisbee, I don't think I recognized your name before. My friend, welcome to the show. Usually I have a co-host with me, Cameron, but he's at the game right now, or he was at the game. Now he's in the parking lot trying to get out of the arena. Um, CJ Frisbee, just realized the Wolves haven't lost 3 games in a row yet this season. Really? That's pretty sweet. And as you said, that's pretty hype. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. The M. Morris is already more effective than Shake's best game. But the preseason got me pretty giddy, pretty excited for Shake Milton. And I guess maybe that's what he was good for. I guess he's doing pretty well in Detroit, and that's fine. I don't know. He's still a young player. He needs to find his way. But also I feel like he needed a system where like it encouraged him and not necessarily facilitate for others. I think he's more of a Jamal Crawford type than a like functioning point guard type. Oh, cool. Well, you guys just watched me drink there for 5 seconds. Let's get to the tier list. Um, And I'll also have a couple extra screens to share with you all tonight. Let's see if I can. Whoa, yeah, I like that. I like that setup. Ooh, what do I do here? All right, I'll do that. I'll do that. This is a game only tier list, not a season kind of overall because Ant is an A1 in our hearts. Na has been a constant A. You know, Gobert has been a constant A. So on a tonight only basis. So for all of you people watching after the fact, and even right now, it's fun to play along, but also just know that it's just on tonight's basis, and we grade all the players fairly or based off of whatever the fuck I want to talk about. Um, let's get into it. I have one monitor for some reason. I'll get another monitor shortly. So if I miss some commentary while we go through the tier list, as I read off stats and kind of talk about my thoughts. I'm sorry about that, but we'll try to catch up as best as I can. Uh, I love this comment. Massive Olo Candy vibes from Aiden. It's like there's so much potential there, but he just doesn't get it. There's nothing in here. And he also probably just cares about a paycheck. Man, I thought we got some I thought we got a steal from the Clippers when we traded for him. Like, it got dark. They hired Billups instead and didn't consider Vanderpool after all of that. Yeah, totally. Man, yeah, the Vanderpool hire could have been pretty good for him. Where is Vanderpool? Brooklyn? Last I remember, he was like Brooklyning with the big three that didn't really do anything together. Big three and Simmons, but whatever. We'll see. All right. I wonder what Lillard is thinking about being on the Bucks now that they got some issues. Well, I think it beats being on the Blazers. I think he needed a breath of fresh air, and he was being rumored to Miami that whole offseason and then kind of completely jaunted to Miami to Milwaukee. Completely like no one was expecting that. Um Doc Rivers, right? Yeah, this is a Minnesota Timberwolves show. We can talk about the Bucks anytime we want, maybe right now. I think Lillard is fine, but that team is going to be fine in the playoffs. But I don't know. The Knicks, the Cavs, and the Celtics are going to be juiced and ready to take him down. And I think half court team, that's where Lillard's going to really shine. But on the other end of the floor, I think Giannis and Milton have to pick it up for them to be anything in the postseason. We'll see. We'll see what Doc Rivers can do with that team. I think Beverly will help as well. Okay, almost there. Almost there. Crone, veteran tip: if you decide to go to a Blizzard game, park at the Liberty Center parking garage. Alrighty, that's awesome. Vanderpool is with the Wizards? Whoa. Why? Oh man. And welcome again, my friend Damon. Kieran, I just wish we could had Lillard. I don't think I ever considered Lillard. And I don't think Portland would ever consider trading to a division rivalry, but Utah did, so I don't know. Maybe don't say no, but and if they did, they would really probably consider OKC over anything. Not that OKC needed Lillard, and or they were ever rumored, but like just OKC here have 7 picks, So alrighty, let's go to tier list as we have it up, and I haven't started yet with it. Points of the paint: Timberwolves 66, Blazers 42. Last game, the Blazers scored 50 to our 44. It's crazy to see just a difference in mentality, in surge and offensive like efficiency from those that were not named last game. The Jaden McDaniels and the Cats, right? They were nowhere to be found in the game last night. It was so fun to have them just like show up, but also show out in the paint, not just be shooting bricks. We led by 38 at one point in this game. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? So cool. Guys, 12 points from Monte Morris in 15 minutes. Three assists, hit a three, 5 for 8 from the floor. Monte Morris in his big head. That is probably above expectation, but in a blowout, I'm going to kind of tip it down a little notch. I'm excited. Let me just say I'm excited. That mid-range shot near the end of the game, not like when it was um kind of already over, but like right before was was sweet. And we're gonna need some of that. We're gonna need some of that. And the fact that he's willing and able to take shots and it doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look like slow mo's taking threes anytime soon. And like Shake Milton was just like allergic to shooting threes. It's great to have someone else on the bench. Just take them. Like I don't care if you're 1 for 4 like you were tonight. It's awesome to see that. It's cool to see Jordan McLaughlin, Josh Minot, Deshaun Nix, Leonard Miller, all those players. It's so fun. Wendell Moore, I don't know. You were in street clothes, as were you, Luca Garza. I don't know. I don't care. Tonight, it's fun to see you guys out there when the games don't matter. I kind of wish I saw more, is all. Nas Reed, 22 minutes, 10 points, 4 fouls. He kind of had a bit of a dud performance, especially in the first half. I believe only 5 points in the first half. So he didn't really show up to the party, but he was there to help close it out. This is not really one I want to see regularly from our boy. Give it a meh. Nikhil Alexander Walker gets a pass for tonight because I thought he was just fine. 0 for 4 from three. Couldn't care. I don't care. I don't care. He has 1 assist and 1 turnover. Kind of don't care. 2 points. I don't care. This would be probably a recipe for a D'Lo type like performance. He's getting an absolute pass for that. He's a meh. Not swapping bite for any point guard right now. Trading Lillard to OKC after he ended the Westbrook era with that game winner would have been hilarious. Yeah, maybe that was maybe why they didn't pick up the phone. Whoops, sorry, my head's going in and out of the camera. Um, you would for Booker. Oh, I'm enjoying him when he's producing though. I love Mike Conley. I think it's so fun and fascinating that I kind of like cared and respected for him in Memphis. And when he went to Utah, I didn't really know what his game was going to translate into, and it was like more of like a whisperer for and like just like a vet laden team surrounding Donovan Mitchell. Were they going to be just fine? I wasn't sure what Conley's role was going to be there, and it was amazing. Like, and I'm so happy he was there because it brought him over to us, right? Um, Memphis was so fun back in the day. It's great to have a leader like this on our team, and honestly, there's so much respect given to him, and there's almost like a oh, if he was just like a young dude, we wouldn't fall in line faster. We wouldn't fall in line with like discipline or like oh, because it's Conley, we're playing for Conley, right? Don't you? In a weird way, it feels like some of us are playing for you because you haven't gone all the way, and like Rudy, same thing. I feel like we're playing for these players. Maybe I'm filling in thoughts in their head, but like maybe I'm not all the way correct. But I think partially is like this team camaraderie is there because of like the vets surrounding the all stars. I think it's pretty cool in a way that they're also valuable and sought after. Like we need them. The Andre Miller in his twilight years, we didn't really need him, right? Theo Ratliff, like you're just a contract filler. You're not gonna help us get anywhere. You know what I mean? Moving on. Yeah, so that's the bench for the most part. And hey guys, all of you, all 50 plus, 60 plus of you. It mean a ton if you could, like, share, subscribe, do all the things that Cameron is so good at talking about. I'm kind of just here reading stats right now, but that'd be awesome if you could do that. Um, we were just talking about Mike Conley. Mike Conley in 22 minutes, 12 points, 3 assists. Now that's the Mike Conley I enjoy. I like. I don't need anything more than that from him, unless it's a close game. Then he pops off, for those like sliding threes. They're fucking awesome, right? He went 2 for 4 from three. That's all we need, really. He wasn't needed tonight, and it's nice to know. And games like this, we can kind of give him a bit of a break. 22 minutes, right? Like we don't need him for 30. It would be crazy if we did. And it's almost like respect shown to Mike Conley to like play to the point where we don't need him. This is a B like performance from him, and it's going to matter in the postseason. Conley's going to have this remarkable game, and it's going to make the deal look like a absolute. It was already a fleecing, but it's going to look like a masterpiece. Like that trade is going to look like everyone's going to talk about how did Conley get traded for what? And you gave up now? Like it's so funny, right? I'm. It's going to come down to how well we are like executing down the stretch. We've struggled with that in the last couple of years. Conley's going to be like, nope, nope, nope. Wait a second. Hold my beer. He'll take care of business for us. Games like tonight, maybe we didn't need him, but there's going to be a game just like tonight in the postseason where we're going to freaking need him. They're going to double. They're going to triple. They're not going to have defenses that are just like completely porous and open like Portland. And Conley's going to have to save us, or Conley's going to have to slow us down and get into a set. That's why he's here. And I don't think he's here just to waste time. And I think that's also fun to like root for a dude, but also like, long story short, like know that we're all here trying to win and not just like get by, right? We're not going to settle for a first round exit. We're going to get fucking mad at each other. We're going to come back even stronger, I hope, as we did last year. And it was kind of cool to see, like, it would be. I did question like Mike Conley trade, like the timing of it. Like, why didn't we just do it right away? Was it to appease Cat? Was Cat's friend? D'Lo sucked, and we could have had Conley earlier, maybe. I wonder if like Conley was still kind of wanting to stick around in Utah, even as they were blowing things up by the minute. There goes Donovan Mitchell. There goes Gobert, but Conley maybe want to stay. I don't know. But the move was great for the timing of when it did for us because it refocused us. And I thought we had a hell of a ride that February, March, April into that first round series was a hell of a ride with Conley. It was so fun. And I think it was like almost like a treatment to our offseason in preparation to like how well we're doing now it's a byproduct of like getting the pieces ahead of time. I hope that made sense. And I feel weird doing a little diatribe on Mike Conley when he was kind of an irrelevant player tonight. But it just happened, I guess. Gobert, the other part of the Utah Jazz East. We almost got, Royce O'Neal and Bojan Bogdanovic. I know that'd been hilarious, right? So 11 points, 12 rebounds, 2 block shots, a couple turnovers, but a lot of those turnovers were because we were forcing the fuck out of it. We were throwing him so many passes when it felt like we were just trying to get him his double-double or something. It was really obnoxious and not needed. 4 fouls. Now that was something I wasn't expecting. And also he had some random dude named Ibao Baji who like was trash talking Gobert as he was getting subbed out. Gobert. I love him. He's a walking A to me. He's getting a B tonight. Let me catch up with a couple comments that may or may not have happened while I was talking. More stats read as someone who's a good addition, and I still think he will be good. He would be as a buyout option. Are we talking about? We're talking about Marcus Morris. Yeah. And didn't Gallinari gets picked up recently? I forgot who he went to. Maybe the Bucks. That'd be interesting because they need something. They need another jolt of energy. So maybe Gallinari will be that. We'll see. Um, but it's weird to see fans of the team he's been on just universally trash him. I don't know if he's been like loved. He's been like a hard, kind of like blue collar type player, like the energy player, and he would shoot threes. But I don't know if he's like loved. I don't know. Not a good shout out if all the fans of your team were recently playing on calling you trash. Ooh, well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if it's actually happening, but I kind of want it to happen because that's a player that I never thought we would like seek, or a player that would never seek a team like us. But that's also probably just because now we're the one seed. Now we're getting noticed. Maybe it doesn't matter at this point. Get on a winning cultural shifting team and be a part of it. That sounds fun. That sounds like a nice like next 3 months for a player. And yeah, uh, he's another guy who's good for 6 fouls. I think it's gonna be great when like a cat inevitably gets a foul trouble. Slow mo does not have it going. It's nice to have another option, but also a big dude. Hey, at that those breaking or those like closing moments in the fourth quarter, we had Nas Reed out there, right? Like, where's that other big? Oh, Luca's in street clothes, and I guess we subbed in Leonard Miller ultimately. Um, yeah, that could be Marcus Morris. All right, cool. Oh yeah, okay, cool. I love Gobert, just not his hands during that one stretch. And end sequence when he wanted to get back. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. And then buyout guys are going to see a possible ring signing with the Wolves. Ooh, hang those banners. We're getting buyouts. Alrighty, guys. Moving on to the next few players. We're only a couple players left. Let's go. Jaden McDaniels, 28 minutes even, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. Pretty much just pounded Simons all day. I thought Jeremy Grant had quite a good game, and I thought Scoot Anderson looked the part. Like I could see the future in Scoot. Um, but I didn't really see defensively the impact that I would normally see from Jaden. However, however, in the first quarter, it felt like we just clamped him down. A lot of it was Gobert just in the paint affecting everything. Had even with the block shot here or there. The refs, it almost felt like the refs were like, let's just get this game done with. So they weren't calling fouls in favor of the Blazers. And I thought Jaden was had a hell of a game. And I think the whistle was kind to him as well. And those dunks just probably get him going in ways that we haven't seen. So like it just felt awesome. And then like that steal into it was just, I don't know, it's incredible. And I don't know. Is this a B? Is this a B? Is this an A? I don't know. I'm not confused. And a thrunk finish. That thrunk was unbelievable. Thrunk in the trunk. Thighs like what? Maybe, yeah, he's an A. He's an A tonight. I don't know what I was thinking. You said quote Cisco. Oh, generic user says B. Guys, you guys influence me, so maybe I was right on first pass. After an absolute stinker, though, I think I'm so happy that he responded. Right? I think we should all be just super happy and elated and praise these types of efforts from Jaden because it's found gold when he gets into double digits. It's literally like just the support that we need from Ant for Ant and Cat. We need that third option. And it can't always be let's lob it to Gobert or we can't rely on Conley day in and day out to get like double digits, right? He's gonna be playing against. And like the Kings and the Pelicans are gonna be just faster than Conley. So we're gonna need someone else to really put the pressure down and get to the paint. And I think he can be that player. And games like the first game against the Blazers, you kind of put in question like, can he actually be part of that next level for us? Well, nights like this show us that he can, and I think it's cool that I still think about that Memphis game where Game 6 he pops off for 29 points, right? there is something in him where he could be so much more lethal on offense, but his role on this team, right? And I think you have to suck it up and you know be prideful out there. I guess Cat's doing that. You can't do it all, and so he's not asked to take over games. He's asked to mostly be a spacer. But it's so sick when he can pop off for 17, where he can get his in the flow of the offense, and it not feel like we're pushing a narrative or forcing it down to have him get going. Like the flow feels like, oh, it's Jaden's time to get that shot off, or in transition, ooh, get it to Jaden. It sounds great because the more he gets going, the more the defenses have to rotate to him and lead, and they can't take off of him, which makes Ants and Cat's game so much better. So and easier first and foremost. All right, Kron says an A. Kieran Cooley says an A. FJD. Oh, everyone's saying A. Generic user? Not this time. Okay. Um, I keep hearing people say online Scoot was overrated as an athlete. He's not that elite athlete, but he was hyped up to be during the draft. But I don't know. He looks crazy fast, explosive in both games. I agree. JJ. I think he's going to be great. I think he's being one of those D Rose like players where he's going to have, or like Westbrook like players where he's going to have a quick first step and he's going to have this like body that's going to like push people going. And yeah, it's all going to be down to if he can shoot threes and if he can defend on the other end. We'll see. I'm kind of rooting for him, as I said in the other show. And as you said, Kieran Scooter will develop. That's cool. That's cool. Alrighty, moving on. As we do, what do we have left? I miss Slomo. Don't really need to talk about him. He's a B. Carl Anthony Towns, what a rebound performance. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 2 block shots, 1 steal, hit a 3, hit his free throws. His girl was in the stands. This is a B-like performance. He shot only 2 threes. And when the game was getting close, I didn't feel like I felt his impact. In fact, I was a little worried when Gobert went to the bench and Cat was the 5. I don't know, right? It didn't feel great. But that necessarily isn't his problem. It's our like philosophy. And I think we lose a bit because he goes from the 4 to the 5, right? So he has to change his mindset immediately and go into different types of coverages and box out different types of players. But I don't know. I think this is a great game from Cat, but not with a whole lot of like felt impact. If you can understand that, I might be wrong on playback. I might like see something different than I did live. But 8 for 13 is an incredible efficiency. Can't be wrong with like how he played, and he was playing downhill, which is cool, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's awful. And tonight I was actually really happy that he was allowed to like kind of play a little bit freer, but also he was quick in his decisions. And I didn't think. Also, I do feel strongly like both games had very similar levels of energy. The first Portland game, he was called for fouls. In that first quarter, he like drove through Kamara and they called it a defensive foul, and it was an and one. That probably got him going, as opposed to, ooh, I want to start moaning and crying to the refs. I'm in this game now. And so he did pretty well in the first quarter. In fact, I thought he got double digits. All right. So he had 5 points in the first quarter and 9 in the second. All right. So his most of his money came in the second quarter. That's awesome. But I felt like the first quarter, I felt like his impact more than when he was actually producing. Anyways, good to see. Good to see from our boy Cat. Because I am not the biggest fan of him. You guys might know this. Neither of us are. But we're rooting for him. As long as he's on the Timberwolves, as long as we are building around him, boy, I can't wait for continued success for our friend Karl Anthony Towns. It's hard to stay consistent in this league. It's hard to build off of wins and keep that same energy going, especially when you're told to sacrifice your game and be a different type of player than you want to be. But the player he wants to be is not necessarily the player that we need him to be, and the player that he needs to be is the best version of him, where he is assertive. He's not necessarily pass first, but he's trigger happy from three, and he plays incredible defense when he's in positions to succeed. And that's usually alongside one or two other bigs. So that role is phenomenal for him. He can also be a passer, a distributor, but we saw tonight maybe not so much. He's playing a little too friendly with the ball, and I just need quick decisions. I don't need anything taking too long, and he's gonna most often if he's thinking, he's gonna make the wrong play. It's weird, and it's kind of weird to say, and especially in a game like this where we blew them out. I'm being too critical. I think it's okay, and I think it's fair, and I think it's understandable. Hopefully, you guys understand when I say small criticisms for Cat's game. Um, it's just because I want the best for him, but I also kind of feel like we are owed the best version of him on a nightly basis, right? Like he can have a bad night. I am not saying he needs to go 8 for 30 for me to be disgusted with him. It's just like all of the other things that need to happen. It's not at all about scoring the basketball. It's about being like there was a possession where I think Cat was playing or like Ant was playing too much with the ball and wasn't looking for anyone else. But Cat was just idle on the perimeter. He could have been shifting, trying to get the ball and help out Ant in a moment where Ant probably needed to get off the ball. Cat was just watching it, you know, little things. You build habits, you build momentum into the playoffs, and you will reap the benefits. And I feel like I can say that on every game, and that's what kind of always worries me about Cat. Um, is that we just see different sides every game. It's so awesome to have a game like this. It's a good effing game. I want it to be every game. I really want that Clippers version of Cat to come out every game. This was a part of it. This is partially that. Yeah, way better. Way better than the last game. So bounce back, higher grade. Yeah, maybe let's do it. I'll give him an A. That's fine. It could be a B because defensively, when Gobert wasn't out there, he was a little lost. I'm gonna give him a B. I'm gonna give him an A. There's no way in hell I'm gonna give him an A1. But Anthony Edwards, the story of the last two games outside of honestly, Anthony Edwards came to play 34 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 turnover. What? Earlier in the season, we were really hounding him for, kind of ball handling skills and kind of being not pass happy or pass aware. He would force his passes. He would have a lot of air in his passes. There's some crispiness now to his passes. 7 assists, 1 turnover. We would never have thought of that year 4 Ant heading into his second All-Star game. This is an A performance, no doubt in my mind. Also, he had a steal, almost dunk, but I forgot who it was that stopped that. Banton, I think Banton stopped the dunk. And he's also, in a weird way, kind of trying things out. Even in like a blowout, there's relevance to him coming back in and playing a couple of minutes with Gobert. He lobbed it for Gobert's dunk to get him his double-double because Conley couldn't do it because what's his face? Sorry, Monte Morris couldn't do it. We had to get Ant going to get that going. And I think it's also great to just build that, that just chemistry with Gobert moving forward. I think Ant is going to be such a weapon, like a 4-factor weapon, outside, inside, mid-range, and passing. Peak Ant is going to be even better. But like the postseason right now, it feels like his passing is going to be an underrated, underutilized, like skill set that teams are going to try to get him off the ball. It's how he's going to get off the ball is going to be incredible. We get to learn, we get to watch, we get to see him maybe potentially struggle with it. I think there's gonna be moments of absolute brilliance. We're seeing some of it right now. He could have actually not played tonight. He has right knee soreness, this tendinopathy or whatever. And it was really kind of funny because he was questionable on Tuesday and he pops off for 41. Questionable tonight, he pops off for 34. And we needed his points, like in both games, honestly, to create the separation and build um the momentum so we could basically say, hey, phone it in now. And he's doing that like slightly impaired. Like he could have not played and he played. It's like kind of awesome, as JJ's saying. I'm glad Edwards hasn't been like coasting against bad teams recently. Yeah, because that has been the Timberwolves DNA, hasn't it been? Play down to the level of competition, play with your food, score 62 points in an L. The 5 factor, not just 4 factor. He's got left-handed jump shots now. Yeah. He's been working against on his floater game now too. There's like some floaters that I've been seeing him work on, and that's sweet. Even more lethal uh injections from Ant, man. Like, how do you defend him? His spin move is insane now. Guys, that was a tier list, but I'm not done sharing my screen. We're going to move quickly into you know it. You know it. Whoa, did I do this correctly? Yeah. The skills competition. Who's doing it? Team top picks, team Pacers, or team All Stars? Why was Ant picked for the skills competition? Ah, that's so funny. I don't know about the top picks taking this one. I think it has a good chance of being the team Pacers. I don't know if any of us care, but I'm going to continue on as if we do. I don't know why I can't just switch screens, but the dunk contest. Um, what? Who is this guy? Jacob Toppin. Uh, I have no idea who's going to win. It's probably going to be Mac McClung again. If I were a betting man, these 3 people. Well, he's probably G leaguer. He's probably some sort of G League. He's probably going to want to show up for a contract, and he's probably invited because he has a nasty dunk game. This is the Jalen Brown is confusing the fuck out of me. Mad props to him, honestly, for doing this. It's as if like year 8, year 9 Ant, hey, do the dunk contest, right? Or like Zach Levine 4 years from now, hey, remember when you were awesome and we remembered you for all the dunking you did? You do that again for us because the dunk contest sucks. Well, it's awesome to have some sort of star power in it now. So we're gonna have to cheer Jalen Brown, but honestly, he's probably gonna suck. Oh man. I guess does this matter? Is this fun to be talking about this? I'm not sure. Um the one that we want to probably talk about, boy, am I like failing at this right now, is where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Ah, here you are. The 3-point contest with our baby boy in blue, Carl Anthony Towns. This is going to be a pretty spicy one. I think they're going to do a Steph Curry, Sabrina Ionescu, Reggie Miller shootout. Well, the Reggie Miller isn't rumored or isn't at all, but I'm just like predicting it because it's in Indiana. Like, there's going to be something Reggie Miller-ish, don't you think? Malik Beasley. I don't know who's going to pull out, but apparently Karl Anthony Towns is defending his crown because he wasn't able to participate last year because he was injured. kind of actually forgot what happened last year. I think it's cool that Laurie Markkinen's in. I think look at the shot form of Tyrese Halliburton. This is such a funny shot form. I think Cat's had a good chance. I think Beasley's going to be probably very. I think this is also in Beasley's element. I don't know why Brunson's in it. I think it's going between Beasley, Mitchell, and Towns. I think Towns is going to have a. I think Towns will be a finalist. We'll see what happens. I should actually be looking at what you guys are saying. What are you guys saying? The 3-point contest is going to cook. I love that. I think it's going to be super fun. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Lillard. Oh. Oh, moving up. I'm sorry. I'm missing some of these comments. It's Obi Toppin's brother. Obi Toppin's brother. And Obi Toppin plays for the Indiana Pacers. They are just home cooking this crap. It's Obi brother. Got it. Who is the practice gym time dunk champ on the team? Ooh. Leonard Miller? He's got springy legs. He's got hops. Ant's got the power. Jane's got the height and the springiness, but I bet you Miller's got a bit of both. Might be wrong. I know Jack or Hawkes. Man, that's a hard last name to say. Hawkes Jr. was a nice dunker in high school, but like so was Chase Buddinger. Yeah, right. We'll see. Yeah, cool. You see Trey being good too. He was a replacement for like Embiid or something, right? Trey's playing. Trey's invited to the All Star game. I hope so, at least, because it would make sense. Look at this. Look at this. Look at what we're doing right here. See, does the zoom in work? Ooh, it does. Oh, look how pretty that is. Folks, did you think this was going to happen? Oh, 55 games into the season. We are 39-16. It is kind of incredible. It took me a bit too long to do the math there. Ahead of the Nuggets, ahead of the Suns, ahead of the Mavs, ahead of those Lakers, who were like, whoa, what an off season. Couple games back. As you remember, we were here last year just fighting to stay in. Yeah, we aren't sniffing that. We aren't going to just crater 8-9 games in the standings. So we're expecting, I think we can safely say, a top 4 finish in the West is all but expected. It's pretty cool. Our season strength of schedule, the remaining strength of schedule is going to be favoring us. I think we have a home favored schedule as well. So if you guys are in Minnesota, you should show up, show out, go to these games. I think it's incredible. This is a historical team. Sometimes I may not look on it like it every day in, day out, but this is a historical team. And I think it's going to be so fun to be part of this ride. And, thank you guys so much for being part of this ride. We're an hour into the show. We're going to close out here in a minute. But just, from the bottom of our hearts, over 1,000 of you guys have chosen us to be part of your diet, your Timberwolves diet. You got the game, you got the post game, and then you got us for an hour, sometimes even longer. Timberwolves faithful, Timberwolves strong. It's awesome. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, as well as it is midnight for you guys, 12:30. Go to bed, get a great start to your weekend, and then we will be streaming live somehow the All-Star game. Maybe we will do a post 3-point contest mini stream. We'll see. But I think we're doing an All-Star stream, so that'll be kind of fun. If it matters. that game never matters. But anyways, 52 wins still in play. Thank you guys so much for showing up and showing out. It was awesome to have you guys. Intro's the outro, as always. See you guys later.